Welcome to First Date, a panel talk show on the Reader Seeks Romance channel that celebrates debut romance authors with recent and upcoming releases. I am your matchmaking host, Liz Donatelli. It is a thrill for me to introduce 4 new romance authors who will set your hearts aflutter with their October and November 2022 debut romance. Gloria Duke, author of paranormal rom-com When Life Gives You Vampires, released on October 9th.
Hi, everyone.
Jess Everlee, author of gay Victorian historical romance The Gentleman's Book of Vices, releasing on November 29th.
Hi.
Helena Greer, author of queer Jewish holiday romance Season of Love, released on October 11th.
Hi.
Nikki Payne, author of Pride and Protest, a modern retelling of Pride and Prejudice, releasing on November 15th.
Hey.
Welcome and congratulations all. Let's begin, as all first dates do, with an icebreaker. And today's icebreaker is, what is something about you that people would be surprised to know? I'm going to start with Nikki.
I am a PhD anthropologist. I study anthropology and human cultures, and I love it.
Wow. That's going to be hard to beat. Now everyone's mad that I picked Nikki first. Gloria.
Oh, boy. Well, mine is going to sound really pale next to that. I was going to go with red is not my natural hair color.
Will you share what your natural hair color is, or is that?
Oh, it's kind of a mousy brown, and now it's probably mousy brown with a little gray thrown in.
Really interesting. It very well suits you. I am actually kind of surprised that is not your natural. Yeah. Whoa. Okay. Who's gonna blow my mind next? I'll go with Jess.
Okay, I don't know that this is mind-blowing, but sometimes people are surprised I can knit and crochet both.
Oh, now I've heard of one or the other, but I have not heard someone who does both.
Yeah, I've surprised people before, so I guess I can do it again.
All right, Helena, surprise us, shock us, tell us.
People would be surprised to learn that I listen to a lot of 90s country music. More the women of 90s country, like Mary Chapin Carpenter.
You have just scored a meeting with book club tastemakers, Oprah, Jenna Bush Hager, and Reese Witherspoon. They are giving you 2 minutes to pitch your debut romance to them. Go.
The Gentleman's Book of Vices is a gay Victorian era romance. It's set in London in 1883. It follows an optimistic dandy named Charlie who collects illegal erotic literature, and he likes to get the signatures on this stuff. So he's got this little collection, and he has to get married to a very nice lady that he's just, he's gay, he's not into it, but she's nice, to clear a debt. So before he has to take all of his scandalous little treasures and pack them away so that she can't find them, he wants to get the autograph of his favorite author, Reginald Cox. So his friend finds the name. He goes to this little bookstore and finds Miles Montague is the real name of Reginald Cox, and goes to get that autograph. And there's a bit of a meat disaster. Had it described that way a few times, where Miles thinks that Charlie's there to blackmail him. Once Miles figures out that is not the case, they meet up again. There's some farcical elements, and then they kind of go from there and start to have a bit of a whirlwind romance going on.
Have you ever watched a Hallmark Christmas movie and thought, this would be better if the girls kissed each other? And also, if it were a little bit more Jewish? I think you have wished that. In this book, you have everything that you would want from a Hallmark Christmas movie. Miriam has a strange but thriving career remaking antiques into bizarre art pieces on Instagram, and she has an icy blonde fiance who's all wrong for her. She goes to sit Shiva for a dead great aunt in a place she hasn't been in 10 years. and accidentally inherits part of a Christmas tree farm. And she has to help save it from bankruptcy with the hot lumberjack, except instead of a hot lumberjack, it's a butch tree farmer. It's everything you've ever hoped for in a Hallmark Christmas movie, except there are lesbians and bisexuals in it. And it's a diverse, inclusive, strange small town. There's even a giant cat. I think that you should check out Season of Love.
Next up, Nikki, Oprah, Jenna, and Reese are waving you in. They just had a bathroom break, so they are ready to listen to your 2-minute pitch of Pride and Protest. So let it rip.
Jenna, Oprah, I know you. Your comfort movie is the 2005 Pride and Prejudice. Let's stop and picture this. A modern day retelling where Lizzie is an activist and Dorsey is a gentrifier, and the tension is 10 times that hand flex scene. I know you've rewatched it. Okay, but where can I get this story? It's right here. I wrote it. And it's a truth universally acknowledged that you need to buy this book. Do you know why? Because it is diverse, it is funny as all hell, and it's very sexy. I mean, it's not your grandmother's Pride and Prejudice, but buy the book. Get the book.
That's awesome. For a minute, I thought someone was off camera trying to drag you off or something. You look like, what's going on?
No, I was making sure the room was clear.
Oh, okay,
So
before
that
yeah.
Jenna and Oprah would know that it was sexy.
Gloria, when life gives you vampires.
Mhm.
Oprah, Reese, and Jenna don't usually pick paranormal, like,
Right.
with vampires. So I think you might have to really sell it.
So, if you like Twilight and you liked Bridget Jones' Diary, you will love When Life Gives You Vampires. Lily is a young woman who kind of has a little bit of a negative body image going. She's a curvy girl, but she's a little self-conscious about it. And what happens is that she wakes up one morning, she has fangs, she has a thirst for blood, she doesn't know what happened, but she's pretty sure she's a vampire. Does a little investigative work because she's also a reporter. And she figures out that, she had a little encounter last night. It went a little wrong. This hot guy, Tristan, apparently was a vampire, and lo and behold, she accidentally turned. So now she's really pissed because, she didn't want to be a vampire. She didn't sign up for any of this. But also she kind of needs Tristan because she doesn't really know any other vampires, so she doesn't know how all this works. And apparently there are all these rules, and being turned into a vampire without everybody's permission is really bad, and your life could be in danger. So basically she needs Tristan to help her navigate this new world. And sort of during that time, as she realizes that she's a vampire, she realizes, like, hey, it's kind of cool. I'm never going to grow old and I'm never going to die, but now my body is never going to change. So all those diets that she's been on in hopes of losing weight and becoming this thin person that she always thought she had within her are now out the window. So basically it's a journey of her learning to love her body as it is. But then also along the way, she and Tristan, they bang heads a lot. She's very modern. He's 400 years old, so he's kind of caught in the past. But along the way, they kind of connect, they banter, and they fall in love, and it's a little spicy.
When you said bang, I thought you were going to say they bang a lot. And you said bang heads. You said bang heads. I was
Bang
like,
heads.
wow, that's not where my head was going. Very good. Excellent all around. I love it. I love it. Gloria, if you could read your first line, please.
Sure. Thirst nudges at me, rousing me out of a sound sleep.
You begin with the hunger.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
We get
okay.
right to it.
Now I need to know more. Nikki.
First line. Hello and good evening. You're live with Lisa B, the only DJ who gives a jam. Tell me, what's on your mind?
Have you ever done a DJing?
I haven't.
Really? Or not even like voiceover work or anything of that
No.
nature?
No, never.
Really? I'm
No.
really surprised at that. You sound like you have that experience. Like it sounded like you were actually a DJ. You have a great voice. Maybe you should do audio narration.
Hello?
Yeah.
Side hustle.
Okay, next. Who should I pick? Jess. Let's go with Jess. Go ahead, Jess.
The front parlor of the Curious Fox had gotten awfully crowded over the past hour.
Oh, so we're opening in the Curious Fox?
Mhm.
Is that where a lot of like debauchery happens?
It might be, yes.
See, now the wheels are turning. Helena, if you could please read the first line.
When Miriam Bloom's life changed forever, she was holding a chainsaw in both hands, a bottle of glitter glue between her teeth, and standing in an empty warehouse over an antique bed frame.
There's a lot going on. There's a lot just in that sentence. I'm intrigued. Which tropes do you use to tell the love story between your main characters?
We have got a little bit of opposites attract. And I wouldn't say they're enemies, but they are definitely at odds when the book starts. So a little bit of animosity to lovers. Forced proximity. I don't know what the official name for this trope is. I call it inherit the in, where someone accidentally inherits something.
Yeah, that's a good. I think you should make that the trope and
inherit the in.
Get credit for that.
And then technically, I guess it's a workplace romance. So.
Right. Inherit the end. That's a very Hallmarkian thing, is to inherit, something. Usually
something. A Christmas tree farm, which Kerrigan's is.
Yes.
There's an inn and a Christmas tree farm.
There's a lot. What was that, Nikki?
It's perfect. It's just the most perfect thing I've ever heard. Inheriting a Christmas tree farm. Come on.
In When Life Gives You Vampires, Lily and Tristan, I would say, are definitely enemies to lovers. I'm not sure that I use any others. I mean, it's not a road trip. They spend an awful lot of time together in Tristan's car.
Okay, but they're not. You wouldn't consider it road trip?
No, because they don't leave New York City.
Okay, so just so kind of like. Just maybe that's a new trope. Just driving around in circles.
It's a new trope
around a city.
Just driving around New York City.
Just the driving trope.
Yes.
Probably the main trope is like grumpy sunshine. Miles is a very grumpy writer, and Charlie's very sunshiny dandy. There's also an erotic writer is not exactly like a celebrity in Victorian England, but there is like an element of like celebrity and fan as well, because Charlie's there for an autograph. Mm-hmm. And then there's a ticking time clock as well to this like loveless marriage that Charlie's got coming up.
Any retelling of Pride and Prejudice is going to have that OG enemies to lovers. It's going to have a little bit of mistaken knowledge, but I think something that I've done here that was really fun was I had to include a little bit of only one bed and a sprinkle of like forbidden romance. Like, I'm not supposed to want this, right? Like the kind of secret, I know something that no one else knows about us thing that I just loved about the original. I also think there is a little bit of a touch of kind of unworthy other partner, right? So that's not to say that the Wick character or the Wickham character is an actual contender for her heart, but he's there as a foil, right, for Dorsey's character. So there is some sort of tension there. Like, shouldn't I want this type of person?
Right.
But here I am, pining for the other guy.
I love it all. Each of you have a little different blend of tropes going on. Sweet, sexy, steamy, or safe word, which would be erotic BDSM. Nikki, where do you fall between sweet, sexy, steamy? I don't think you're safe word level. I don't think any of you is safe word level. So we'll just stick to sweet, sexy, or steamy.
I'm gonna say steamy. It's a little bit past sexy. There's some words in there that are words, honey. It's not church reading.
Then steamy sounds appropriate. Gloria, are we talking sweet, sexy, or steamy?
I think it's sexy with a dash of steamy. There are a couple of
Oh.
scenes that get a little steamy, but mostly it's sexy.
So it's sexy dipping the toe into a little bit of a steam
Dipping
bath.
the toe into a little bit of the steamy bath.
Jess, I'm thinking steamy, but I don't know. What do you think?
It seems to depend on who you ask a little bit. I'd say like sexy, also kind of like with some steamy in there. There's definitely like a sexy, like pervading attitude through the
We-
whole story, but a couple scenes that go
Okay.
there.
So sexy. Are we talking dipping a toe into a steam bath or kind of like sexy taking an occasional steamy shower?
Probably that one. Yeah.
Okay.
Sexy with an occasional, like fully steamy shower.
Okay. Well, thank you for
Couple of
following
times.
me on that whole
Yes,
thing.
I'll take that metaphor.
I went off. Okay. Helena, sweet, sexy, steamy.
So it is closed door, but they do lust after each other a lot, and they are definitely having sex. They're just sort of fade to blacking. So it's sweet, like going into the sexy. Like everyone knows they're banging. They've just kind of closed the door on us right before they get into it.
Okay.
So.
Is the sexual tension on the page pretty intense and the flirtation and
I feel like they, my editor was like, do they need to lust after each other this much? I was like,
really?
they do. They do.
So kind of sweet with like steamy longing, maybe?
Yeah, correct.
Oh, yeah. Do you like that, Nikki? Like,
yeah. Sorry, I was just like,
yeah,
very
yeah,
affirming here. Just like grew up in the Black church. I'm just like, amen. Sorry, I will affirm that.
Many authors claim that their characters talk to them and frequently change the romance journey that they had originally planned. My question to you, authors, what did your characters make you change about their romance story?
This one was an absolute giveaway. I was trying so hard to write this scene where they were like doing this karaoke thing, and I was trying to write it, and it just kept being awkward and it kept being wrong. And then like Dorsey turned around and he was just like, I'm not gonna do this. Like, I'm not going to stand up there. I'm not gonna do it. And I'm like, I agree, actually. And I ended up cutting the entire he wasn't gonna do it. And I couldn't make it authentic into the writing. He just literally just turned around and was like, honey, you tried too hard. I'm trying to make fetch work, Nikki. So I just had to cut it.
That's that's fun. That's fun. Okay, let's see. Helena, you look like you might want to answer next.
So Miriam and Noelle mostly did what they were supposed to. However, I had been planning a book too, which the second book in this series, For Never and Always, is coming out fall 23. I have all this big cast of characters, found family, and I had books planned for them. And the Miriam's best friend was supposed to end up with her cousin, Hannah. And Hannah was going to have this big tragic backstory where her fiance had died and she was getting over him and she wasn't sure if she was ready. And then the fiance, about 4 revisions in, just came back from the dead. He was like, I'm not dead and I'm coming back for my girl and you better write me a book. So he's the hero of book 2. He is the thorn in my side. And he's getting his own book. He's getting his girl back.
Wow. I just got chills. That was something else. Okay. Wow. Okay. Let's see. Gloria or Jess? Who's going to lock eyes with me? All right, Jess, you look a little scared.
Right.
So
I'm ready. I can do it.
Okay.
I can do it. I can do it.
All
So
right,
what I found Charlie and Miles really get along and they are very romantic and really like each other. And I kept trying to write. I did not plot this book at all. I just kind of winged it. The full first draft was all winged. But every time I tried to like do a fight or something or an argument, stall out. Like, no, that's not the I just figured out that the external circumstances were going to have to be the big issue because they were just really compatible on the page. So that was actually kind of fun, and it was interesting to have characters who just kind of really get along and have other issues going on that are causing the problems.
Well, that's fascinating. That's fascinating. It's almost like they were teaming up against you.
A little bit.
You're not going to tear us apart.
Wouldn't. No, they wouldn't. They wouldn't let me do it.
Wow. That actually sounds like the beginning of maybe a horror film, right? Is that your characters then come to life and they have to destroy you because you're trying to, wow. Anyway, I like horror too, which is why.
Okay. I don't. So I'm going to leave that one. I'll leave that one to you.
Well, then, Gloria, that leaves you. Go for it.
Yeah, I'm with Jess. See, I don't plan anything out in advance. I just I knew a high concept. I knew it ended happily ever after. And then I just started writing. Yeah. So, so my characters didn't have any plans to mess up. So I just kind of figured it out along the way. But I will say that my characters definitely do talk to me. Whenever I get stuck, I go for a walk. And as I walk, I start to hear them talking, and I hear them talking to me and talking to each other. And usually if I do an hour walk and I come back, I can usually sit back down and like write a whole conversation because I've heard it all in my head.
Wow, really? So a walk loosens their tongues, huh?
Well, you have see because you think that if you sit staring at your computer screen, it's going to come. But it's sort of counterintuitive to walk away. But what you really need to do when you're stuck is you need to walk away and just let your character start to talk to you.
That makes sense. I feel like my best ideas, just about everything, I guess, is usually when I'm doing something random, washing the dishes, taking a walk, showering.
The shower plot is a real piece of my writing process.
Yeah. Wow.
Right. And I'm with Nikki. When the writing is difficult, something is wrong. But when the writing is easy, you know that everything is clicking and you're on the right track.
That's a very good point. That's true. That's very true. Nikki, to whom did you dedicate Pride and Protest?
I dedicated Pride and Protest to my best friend, Charlene, who, when I was just thinking about writing and just like writing these other tiny terrible books, she would read them like with such rapt attention, and like she was my first fan really in this real way. And I realized that if I showed a book to her and if she didn't like it, she was my meter and metric of one, like this is the exact person that I'm trying to please. And if I stayed in that level of like pleasing her, then I was excited about the book too. Yeah. So my dedication says to Charlene, my audience of one, the sister I chose.
That's beautiful. It's really touching.
Well, this book was really, even though it's about vampires, this book was actually very personal to me. Because I'm somebody who has struggled with negative body image almost my whole life. And that was something that I really wanted to write about. I wanted to write about someone who felt bad about themselves, who went on a journey to learning to feel good about themselves. Yeah. So I kind of dedicated it to all the girls like me. To anyone who has ever thought the size or shape of their body made them somehow less, you are so much more.
That's really touching. I love that. Helena, would you please share your dedication?
Sure. I also dedicated mine to my best friend. She has been my first reader since high school. She would read my bad poetry. She would come to my poetry readings that I put on at our coffee shop that we hung out at. I quit writing for like 12 years after college. I took a long self-reflective break, I don't know. And when I started writing again, she was like, share the Google Doc with me. I'm gonna make notes every single day. She was a Kerrigan's, which is the farm, super fan from day one. And I just knew that I never would have believed in myself, in the possibility of me really writing again, if she hadn't been there saying like, yes, this is real. I'm not giving up on you until you really do this.
Right.
Her name is Robin, but her nickname is Koss. This says, for Koss, my North Star, my ride or die. There is no Kerrigans or me without you.
Love it. Jess, did you dedicate your book to a best friend?
It is my best friend / husband, Michael. So we've been friends for a very long time, and then also we're married now. And he's read all my stuff and loved it for years and years. And I really thought he was the only person who was probably even ever going to read this. And he was very enthusiastic about it.
Is that your very own friends to lovers romance then?
It is,
Michael?
yes, actually. And and because this book is about like a smut writer and a friend, I actually took a line from the book, and so I made it for Michael, every depraved word forever, which is a line that comes up at some point in the book.
Now you have to think, oh, now who am I going to dedicate the second book to? Now you have to find out. I hope you have other best friends.
I did. The second one is to my other best friend.
Okay.
We're just gonna go down the list.
I might actually dedicate one to my husband.
You know, if anyone runs out, you could dedicate a book to me. Yes, it's silence all around. I'm going to give the first one to Nikki and Gloria, my clue givers, and you give your one-word clue to your guesser. Right, let me get in the chat here. One is to Gloria, and this one is to Nikki. Okay. Nikki, you go first.
Okay. My clue to Jess is, and it's just one word?
One word clues. And you can't be the word that's in the password.
Okay. Period?
Accidental pregnancy.
Secret baby, you got it.
Wait a second. Wait, is accidental pregnancy the same as secret baby?
Right?
Okay.
No, I have, you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Reason to say yes.
Okay, you want to say? All right. I just wanted to.
What do you guys think? I think secret baby is accidental.
Okay.
I think you got it.
If the judges say yes, I was thinking they were two different, but the judges say yes. Very good. So you got 1 point. Okay. Dun 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 dun. All right. So this is for you, Gloria. You got it now?
Mhm.
Okay. Go ahead. One word.
3.
Romance tropes.
Brothers in a family.
Okay, Nikki, you feed a clue to Jess.
Oh, I'm so ready. I was pre-thinking about this. Are you ready, Jess?
Yeah.
Pythagorean theorem.
Menage.
It has to be one word. It has to be one
Oh.
word. So now, Gloria, you feed a same trope is in play. You just have to give a different clue. But remember, Helena, you just got a little bit of a tip off from Nikki's 2-word clue. Go ahead, Gloria.
Oh God, this is hard. Choice.
Love triangle.
Yes, you got it.
Fantastic.
Okay. So
I thought it was menage for sure.
Yeah. We're
Oh, it's like throuple? Is throuple a trope?
I've heard it.
Jess and I are going straight to the polyamory.
I love it. I love that journey for us. I really do. Okay. Pretend.
Oh, fake dating.
so let me begin the next one. Next one, you can begin, Gloria. One word.
I know it's hard with one word. First.
Second chance.
Yeah, you guys are tied. Okay, Nikki?
Ooh,
This is a tough one.
this is tough. Okay. Close.
Forced proximity. That was a good one.
That's good.
Nice.
Actually, that was a good clue. Yeah, you won! Yay! So, where can people find you online, Jess?
JessEverlee.com has all those sort of basic info. I'm also on Instagram at gratuitous banter. And if you can't spell gratuitous, because I can't always spell it, you can just look up Jess Everlee on Instagram. I'll pop up.
Helena, where can we find you?
You can find me at helenagreer.com, which is a great place to sign up for my newsletter. You can also find me on Instagram and Twitter at Bloom Again Curios.
Nikki.
My website is Nikki Payne Books. Please come and check me out and sign up for my newsletter. It's hilarious, and I'm not just saying that. So Twitter and Instagram, I'm Nikki Payne Books, but for TikTok, I'm Nikki Payne Romance. Yeah, come check me out. I think you'll like it.
Okay, thank you. Gloria, where can we find you?
My website is gloria-duke.com. And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram. I'm Gloria Duke HEA.
Our time together has come to an end. Thank you to Gloria, to Jess, Helena, and Nikki for making time to join me here on First Date. I wish all of you continued success. Happy writing to all.
Thank you.
Yay. Bye.
Thank you. Bye now.
Bye.